Yo, what's up, everybody? Good morning, Hunter, David, Tech. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? How are we doing today? Just getting a few things set up, guys. Bear with me. A little behind schedule today. But here in about 2 minutes, you'll have my undivided attention, and we will go ahead and start answering those questions, getting the rundown going, and getting everybody prepared for today. Let's go ahead and get prepared with those questions, get them typed up inside a chat, and we'll start diving into those here in a couple seconds, guys. Appreciate you. And we should be good to go. Fantastic. All right. Looks like we're in there. What's up? What's up? Holly, good morning. Gino. Man, Gino, I saw your message inside a chat, boss, from yesterday. You're an awesome guy, man. You really are. You're a good-hearted person. We appreciate you a lot. I'm going to have to get back out to you and email you at some point today, boss. It's been a long weekend for the family. Everybody in the house is sick or just getting over being sick. So it was a very long, brutal, sick-infested weekend. But I'll definitely get back to you, boss. But you're a great man. We love you, bro. Appreciate all that you do, all the support. It does not go unnoticed. All right, so we're running inside a chat. Good. We're running up here on YouTube. Good. All right. Good morning again. Happy Money Tuesday. It is 8:23 in the morning. All right, we got about 30 minutes, 35 minutes until we officially go live with members inside a chat. So let's utilize this next 30 minutes to answer questions you guys have. If I can help educate you in any way, I want to be able to do that and also be able to get you guys prepared for today's trading session. You know, talk about the top stocks that we have, where my focus is going to be for today, and how I'm looking to make money in the market. I think it's that new COVID strain. I don't know. I don't know if it's the weather. Really bad. I was running about 103 fever for about 48 hours. And I'm just now starting to feel a little bit better, you know, sweating it out every night. It was just very, very brutal. And my daughter woke up this morning about 102.5 fever. So I just had to leave here about, 30 minutes ago. I just got back. That's why we're running behind schedule. Had to go to CVS and pick up some medicine for her because she's starting to feel it too. So it's just going around. It's just going around. So David, I appreciate it, man. We're good. It's only temporary, right? It's not permanent. It's only temporary. But what do we got going on in the market? So you got COIN kind of rolling over a little bit. I was just kind of looking through our options watch list, looking to see if anything really stood out to us. And I'm not really seeing that much today. And I think today is going to be a slower and choppier day, as tomorrow we have PPI data, right? We all know that tomorrow we have PPI data being released at 8:30. We have earnings season starting to ramp off as actually last Friday with banks. But we have some earnings this week as well with PPI data coming in tomorrow at 8:30. And, we just know that usually the day before leading up to any kind of like inflation data, like last week's CPI, the market was pretty slow and choppy leading up until about Thursday. Thursday, boom, we get, CPI data. The markets are volatile. And I have one of my biggest days of the week there on Thursday, right? We make over $1,000 that day by 10 o'clock. It was a great, great day. But the rest of the week was on the choppier side, in my opinion. It was kind of hard to gauge and really hard to get some clean action. And that's just because we're leading up to that very important inflation data. So same thing with today. Do I really think the markets are going to move big time today? Probably not, because just typically we don't see that when we have inflation data right around the corner. That's tomorrow at 8:30, right? And then we should be in the clear the rest of the week. We don't really have anything else on the economic calendar. I mean, we do have building permits here on the 19th, which is going to be Wednesday. That's of high importance, but it's nothing that's really going to move the market. And then Friday, you got total rig count for January 20th. But the biggest thing this week on the economic calendar, obviously, is going to be PPI data coming in tomorrow, 8:30 in the morning. And then we got a lot of earnings this week as well. So if you're wondering who is dropping the earnings this week, right? The most anticipated earnings, you got like United Airlines today after the close. You got Netflix here Thursday after the close. You got some more banks as well this week. And then things really start picking up next week a little bit as well. So, I mean, you got like Netflix this week. Obviously, a lot of banks. And then, airlines. You only got one airline. You got two. No, just United reporting this week. So, it's not a super, super duper hot earnings week by any means. But it's definitely something to be mindful of, right? We're starting to kick off some earnings, inflation around the corner. So really, it's just, I would be putting your focus on some small cap pennies, in my opinion. If you're more of a kind of like a scale in, scale out kind of trader, where you look for a good entry and you're okay with holding the trade for like a couple hours on like the SPY, and you're patient to manage a trade for a couple hours, you could absolutely be all over the SPY and the Qs today. Keep it simple. And just trade option contracts. During days of slow movement, I find it best to trade futures because, again, I can take one or two ES contracts, and all I need is a 1-point move to make $100 on two contracts. I don't need the SPY to move a lot to make a good chunk of change trading futures, compared to needing to size up 20, 30 contracts on the SPY and have to worry about the delta and then theta traps and all this stuff. A lot of stuff that I dealt with here on Friday when I should have just been in the futures market. So a lot of my focus today, I'll be looking to trade futures, right? You don't really need a lot of big time movement to make a lot of cash. I mean, I'm going to put this into perspective for you. Here on the SPY, right? This is the ES, this is the S&P 500. If you would have just, for hypothetical reasons, if you would have just taken this little double bottom, not saying you would have, not saying that I would have taken it, I'm just saying, okay, there may be a trade here, double bottom, break of the neckline. Let's just say you got in at like 4,005, and this thing just ran all the way up to 40.10. That's 5 points on two contracts. That would have been $500, and it barely moved anything, right? Barely moved anything. So that's what I mean when the market's slower, a little bit, choppier leading up to, inflation data, whatever the case is, FOMC, Fed minutes. We have the economic forum going on right now. It's like, I find it best to look for these quick scalp, quick hit opportunities, trading futures, and just get in and out, in and out, in and out, and scalp the market for really nice profits. And you don't have to worry about, again, theta trap. I got caught up in a theta trap on Friday. I'm on the right side of the trade. Trade's going in my favor beautifully. I have a really nice position of 40 contracts. They don't budge. Then we get this one candle that just ticks up a little bit, right? Just ticks up. I'm in the green, 50 cents, 40, it's coming in my favor. Hard and heavy. They're not budging. I'm not up anything. And then literally one little bounce wipes me out, hits the stop. And I'm like, yeah. So definitely on days like today, I do not want to be trading, options. It's just me and options don't mesh well on days like today. And then add in, we just came off of a 3-day holiday weekend, right? So there's going to be a little bit less activity in the market as well, being that we just came off that extended 3-day weekend. So play it safe today. Long-winded explanation, but I like to back everything up with, like facts and reasoning and not just tell you guys things. I want you guys to learn in the process. But that's kind of my expectations for today, and that's how I'm going to, be looking to position myself in the market. You should be good inside of chat. There should not be just one speaker, guys. There should be two. I just checked, and we're currently good to go on my end. So today, if you guys are curious what we're looking at, okay, you got GNS. GNS is just now starting to pop on up here a little bit here on the 9th. So, I mean, you're talking about 7 days ago. They just signed a term sheet for about 7.5 million share subscription and purchase agreement. That was on the 9th. But here on the 9th, it didn't really do anything. It had a gap up on Friday, closed red, and now it's just starting to get a little bit of action right now, pretty randomly at this point in time. I don't like trading random stocks, random movers. I've been burnt one too many times. One too many times have I been burned trading just random, no news, no catalyst stocks, and that's, GNS. Last press release was the 9th. Friday with a gap up and a drop on down, closed red. Wouldn't really look at this on the daily chart for any reason. There's no reason for the stock to be getting this volume and some of this push to the upside right now. Maybe it's just because it's a cheap stock and traders are like, where's the cheapest stock that I can get involved with today? But I definitely don't see myself paying any attention to GNS. I mean, the number one stocks that I would be paying attention to is going to be DCFC, and here's why. The press release is killer. Right? You really take a look at the press release here on DCFC. So they secured their largest order in the company history. So in the history of the company, they just secured one of their largest orders ever. And to top it off, they just released preliminary results for 2022. And they were hitting record sales and record revenue. So you got record sales, record revenue, and on top of that, they just secured, right? They secured it, their largest order in the company history. And then prior to this, a little bit last week, you had like Credit Suisse coming in here with some buy ratings, price target of 2 for 4. So you had Raymond James adjusting a little bit. So you actually had some lower price targets announced, but you also had some newcomers come in and announce some buy ratings. But overall today, why would this stock currently be up right now at this point in time, 42%, currently be the number one top gainer, nearly the number one top gainer that's actually moving with some good volume and consistency. Well, that press release is absolutely killer. Got a nice low float, it's trading exceptional volume. 12% of the float is currently short right now at this point in time. So you add all of these things together, it makes for a really nice play today. It's not random. It's not just moving off no news and just, again, randomness. It's definitely something that has a reason to have attention towards it. And now I want to get prepared and see if we have an opportunity to lock in some profits here. Gino, boss man, I appreciate you, sir. I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. So do we have any questions this morning here from any YouTubers? Do we have any questions right now? And I got a big announcement too, guys. For those of you that like free stuff, everybody that tunes in to YouTube every single morning consistently, I want to thank you so much for your support and just being here. Our channel wouldn't be where it's at if it wasn't for you guys and the support and you just showing up and asking those questions and getting the help that you guys need. And I just want to, thank you again for your support. And to show our thanks, I'm going to actually give away one of our mini courses to you guys absolutely free. So normally that's a course that we charge about $199 for. It's a killer course. And I'm actually going to build something out to where I can give that to you guys 100% free as just a thank you for supporting the streams and supporting us on other social media channels as well. So if you guys are interested in that, just let me know. I'll continue to work with our team behind the scenes, kind of bring everything together. And then hopefully sometime this week, I'll be able to drop you guys with a link and you guys can go register to get free access to the course if you guys are interested in that. Johnny, you should not have a problem, my man, over inside of chat, right? Looking at the main live stream when we officially go live in the mornings. If you want to see less grain, I guess, I'm sure you have to change your resolution a bit to make sure your resolution's fine. You know, I'm checking it out right now on my end. You got to switch from auto to manual, right? If you go ahead and switch it from auto to that set 1080p, 60 frames a second, you should be all set, ready to rock and roll. And it looks looks good on my end. But you also got to think it's the format. So everything's kind of scrunched down into a little bit of a smaller format. So my screen's not filling up the entire canvas due to the format and how we have it pushed on YouTube in the mornings. So go ahead and shoot the questions. I show up to answer your questions, guys. If you have questions, let me know. If not, I mean, that's pretty much my rundown for today. There's not an abundance of things to talk about, okay? You got DCFC as our #1 penny stock. You got a couple back burners. I save these exclusively for members inside of our community. But I'm going to give you the tickers, but I'm not going to give you the entries and the exits. Those are for members inside of the community. But GSUN is one of our back burner sleepers. And I know you guys know what a back burner sleeper is. I've given you a few of those in the past, and I'd say 80% of the time they're hot. KPRX is another back burner sleeper. GSUN's a back burner sleeper. DCFC is our #1 penny stock for today. This is our focus right at 9:30 to start the day. UPS, I got UPS on watch for puts. That's assuming that, you know, UPS kind of do its own thing today, regardless of what, you know, the overall market's doing. I got Microsoft on watch for a quick scalp to the short side, possibly right out of the gate, which I may not be getting this one because it's already down 3 points from my ideal entry. And honestly, if I were to get that entry, it would have been Thursday or Friday. For a swing, I still think there's potential for a day trade opportunity. But again, we're about $3 off from the best entry, and I'm not going to chase this $3 down, so I may have to scratch that. Tesla will be on watch today for some puts. And then, like I said, don't expect too much out of the SPY and the Qs. Like, honestly, there's not even a lot to look at right now. You just got a lot of resistance up at 4. And you got a good amount of resistance here at your 200 SMA. So we'll have to see what the SPY wants to do today ahead of PPI data, as it's sitting right around its 200 SMA. Danny wants to be considered. You don't got to be considered, but if you're interested, then yeah, we're gonna just drop the link sometime this week. But Danny, sounds good, boss man. Sounds good. If you guys are interested, it's a great course. It's a 90-minute course, really tailored to teach you guys how to trade options. So if you guys are wondering how to trade options, if you need to perfect your skill set a little bit with trading options, if you're just looking to obtain a different like approach to options, really, and just kind of simplify it out and become a better options trader. It's a 90-minute lesson. It was really crafted to take you from, I don't really know a lot about options, to I feel pretty darn confident to now go take my very first options trade confidently. Gino, I'm scared to trade options. Gino, my man, you're already a member inside of chat, so you get access to everything that pertains to options, not just the course that we're putting together for some social followers. You get access to everything, bro. There's probably, 7 hours worth of options lessons inside of that video lessons library that you get 24/7 access to, man. And those are some golden nugget lessons in there. So definitely, if you're nervous to trade options, the reason you're nervous or scared is because you don't know enough about them yet. I was like that day one. I'm like, man, an option, there's too many moving pieces. It just makes me nervous. But then I started to educate myself. The more education I obtained, the more knowledge I gained, the more confident I became. And then I just started to apply what I was learning in a backtest account, in a simulated account. And I would make a lot of mistakes. But then I started to actually see things pay off really well. I started to really learn a lot. I was applying it. I was seeing results. And then before you know it, I was extremely confident to start trading options in a live account. Now, just there's no fear behind options. I love trading options. It's definitely a great tool to understand, to know how to trade the right way. Because when penny stocks are dead, for example, or let's say that you don't really necessarily want to throw $250,000 into Tesla to get 1,000 or 2,000 shares, options are definitely a great way to lock in some amazing profits without really needing a lot of capital to get involved with some of these larger priced blue chip stocks. Hunter, there's actually a lesson in the video lessons library about profit taking. On top of that, there's actually a lesson in the course. As a yearly member, you got access to the course, how to lock in profits. So we actually have lessons already built to help you and to help teach you how to actually identify profit taking levels. So let's go inside the video lessons library real quick and let's just see. Because we're cleaning everything up as we're getting ready to make that transition from the current platform on over to 2.0. And so if we get into the video lessons library, let's see if it's still there. But profit. Okay, maybe it's not in the library. Maybe it was out of the library and in the course. And what's cool is with the new system, we're going to be able to tag videos based on keywords. And if you type in keyword, it'll pull up that video, even if it's not in the video title. So yeah, it looks like it's not in here anymore as we're making that transition. Okay, it is in the course though, boss. I do believe it is in the course. If you go into your course, just go to course login. Go ahead and log into your course. It's the different credentials that you set. And that right there, you're going to see that lesson inside the video lessons library, inside the course. Now, if you still don't find it for some reason, which I highly doubt, I definitely think it's in the course, just let me know. Shoot me an email, and we'll see exactly how it got lost within our video lessons library. But it's definitely in here. I remember seeing it the other day as I was actually restructuring a few things. You got me wondering how many other lessons happen to fall off the server during this migration. How to identify price targets. Here you go. I even typed in price. That's very odd, right? How to identify price targets. I'm going to drop this inside a chat for you, boss. Right here. How to identify price target. What's a price target? How to identify those? I definitely knew it was in there. I saw it. It's video ID 1931. Okay. So yeah, we're just gonna kind of, during this little, it's a server migration. We went from one server to a new server, one application to a new built application. And during that transition, things happen. And this has been a nice little process for a while. So, but I went ahead and typed that up inside a chat for you, boss. How to identify price target. Absolutely, man. That's a great lesson. So definitely check it out. I think it's about a 30-minute long lesson. All these lessons, they're very in-depth, very thorough. And we hit just about anything on the head. I've been looking to trade futures. How do you feel about those, Parker? I actually love futures contracts personally. There's a couple benefits with futures over options, and I think the biggest benefit, number one, is you're on a margin account with no PDT rule versus a cash account and having to wait for your cash to settle. I mean, overnight, but you could technically run out of cash for the day and have to wait until the next day for it to settle to trade again. So I guess one of the biggest benefits with again, futures is going to be, you're on a margin account with no PDT. You can trade as much as you want. Number two, you can actually trade pre-market. So like if you like volatility, like I traded CPI last week. I traded the SPY and I traded CPI last week right here in pre-market, right? I couldn't do this with options, right? I couldn't do this with capital. I mean, I could have done this with capital, but like 500 shares would have cost me like 20K, right? Like 20K. I know a lot of traders don't just have 20K to throw out a position on, say, the SPY in pre-market to take shares. But I took this nice little crack and retest after CPI, right, in pre-market and took it through the open. So I was able to do this with futures contracts, and I was able to get in, put a nice stop loss. That's another thing as well. If you're trading shares, you can't put a stop loss in with those shares in pre-market, which is unfortunate. That's why I like futures there as well, as I was to get in on this little crack and retest here, put a stop in the system. I come back, after the market opens 20 minutes later, I'm like, oh, wow, I'm up like $800 on the trade. Nice. That's another reason I like futures contracts. And the other reason I like futures is you don't have to worry about Greeks. You don't have to worry about the delta. You don't have to worry about the theta traps, implied volatility, IV crushes. You don't have to worry about the spreads. Most of the time, you don't have to worry about the spreads. But there's quite a few reasons why I like futures contracts over options. Now, there are some cons, and I think one of the biggest, most talked about con, I guess, not really a con, but a negative or a downside would be the fact that there's a lot of volatility. Lots of volatility, and if you cannot manage your risk correctly, you could lose more than what you actually put into that trade. Like, for example, if I took an MES position, it really only takes $50 out of my account to open that position, but I can blow up my entire account on that one trade. Unlike options, if I have a $500 account and I open a call option for $100, I can only lose the $100 I put into it. But if I put $100 into a futures position, I could technically blow up my entire account. There's a lot of volatility, right? There's a lot of volatility, and if you cannot manage your risk, you should not be participating in the futures market until you understand how to really manage your risk and cut the trade when it's going against you. 24/5 as well, so 6 p.m. Sunday nights, assuming there's no holidays and stuff, but just normal. You got 6 p.m. Sunday night all the way through 4:15 on Friday. Now, from 4:15 to 4:30, there's a cutoff time. That's like the futures settlement window to where there's no active trading. And if you want to utilize margin, which a lot of people use margin when trading futures, you're not going to be able to trade from 4:15 until 6. So just basically tell yourself from 4:15 to 6 o'clock, you're not going to be able to get in or out of a futures position. Okay, so you're only really going to be able to trade, again, from 6 Sunday all the way to 4:15 on Friday. But, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, from 4:15 to 6, you have a cutoff time. You need to be out of the market pertaining to the SPY, right? I'm really talking about the SPY, trading the ES, the MES. I'm not talking about like crude oil or commodities and stuff. I'm solely talking the SPY right now. Troy, good morning, boss. Any penny stocks for today? Yeah, so we got a back burner sleeper, KPRX. GSUN is another one of my personal game plans for today. GSUN, it's a back burner sleeper for the team. And then DCFC was the only stock that I actually called out today inside of chat. Right, so inside of chat today, like the only stock that I had called out this morning was this one. We were going through, obviously breaking down what we do every single morning, stocks with news, economic calendar, really getting the team prepared. This morning, the only thing that I actually saw that looked pretty decent was DC FC right here. DFC has a great press release this morning. They secured the largest order in company history, as well as crushing sales and revenue. The stock also has 12% of its float currently short at this point in time. Get the break over 193 before getting involved. We have room to 217, $3. It's on high watch. And traders inside of chat know when I say something's on high watch, I mean it's on high watch. Get a nice break over 193 before getting involved. And traders in chat know how to build their trade plans. They know how to identify price targets. They know how to build trade plans. I don't have to sit here and build trade plans for them. And just like that, come and look. We already got some traders inside of chat locking in some profits here on DCFC. So that's like the only stock that I even saw this morning that was like decent, right? That actually had some good potential. And we were just looking for a nice little break over that 193 level. Got a nice strong volume break right over that 193, right up to those highs. And now you're completely risk-free on the trade. You went from 193 all the way that 217 high. You made over 20 cents a share, about 25 cents a share, and you're scaling out, locking in profits, now bringing your mental stop loss to your cost basis, which is break even. You cannot lose on the trade, and you now do have an additional target up to $3, but you can't lose on the trade if you have a stop at your cost basis. But that's about it. AIM. So they entered into a pancreatic cancer clinical research agreement with AstraZeneca Medical Center. Okay, so they're entering into a pancreatic cancer clinical research agreement with AstraZeneca Medical Center here with AIM. AIM right now has gone from around 68 cents to 77. Where's she at? She's 47 million in float. Starting to creep on up with some volume here. You almost got 1 million shares traded. Just about. You're getting close. You got about 700,000 shares traded on average, 200K. So you're definitely seeing a lot of excess volume move in over the average, which is good. It's a relatively low float stock for this price. You know, it's 47 million in float. It's a 70-cent stock. It's got a good press release. So let's go ahead and just break down AIM. And let's make sure the team's prepared. I don't trade stocks under $1. Like my sweet spot for stocks are stocks between 5 and 10. I do the best with stocks between $5 and $10. I don't have the best win ratios with stocks under $1 for some reason. So you're going to have some support back down here right at, like that was Thursday's open. Going to put you right around the 200 SMA as well. So I'm going to mark this as a red line. This red line that you're seeing here on AIM, that's your support level. That's right at 70 cents. Right? Obviously, you want to see it come down to the support. You'll want to see some volume move in at support, good price action. You want to see buyers present and getting involved. And you put stops, you know, a little bit below that support level, and you look for buyers to come in and move it back up off support, right? So if we come on down to that red line and we hold and you're making entries, right, that's great. Put your stop losses below the red line, below support, because if support cracks, what happens? More sellers move in and it comes down to the next level of support, which is 55 cents. And let's be honest, you do not want to hold this stock down 15 cents to the downside, because if you did hold this down, that's about a 21% loss, and that's way too much. So you cannot have it go, 15 cents of risk on a stock that's only 70 cents. But we know where the best support level is, the red line, 70 cents. If it falls below 70 cents, you know that we then have potential to come down to 55 cents before bouncing on up again. And that could be a re-entry for you if you get stopped out on the first trade, right? Just rinse and repeat the process. if it's a good quality stock. Not even a good quality stock, but a good stock that has some good opportunity, not just some random pump and dump. And then, yeah, we got some room back up to 90 cents. So you can go ahead and start building a plan right now at this point in time. You're like, all right, comes down to 70 cents and bounces. I don't want to risk more than, say, I don't know, 6 cents, right? So if you get in this red line, let's say you risked 6 cents. Again, this is education, not advice. I'm not telling you to get involved here by any means. I'm just trying to break down how you build a trade plan. You know, you want to get in as close to 70 cents as possible. Let's say you gave it 5 cents, 6 cents of breathing room. That's about 9% of risk. Okay, what's your profit target? 90 cents. You got about 28 cents of profit potential. That's a 3-to-1 setup to risk 9%. Risk 9% to make 28%. That's a 3-to-1 opportunity. That's 3 times reward. Your reward's 3 times greater than your risk. So, you know, it wouldn't be a terrible trade plan, you know, getting that balance as close to 70 cents as possible for a nice big push back up to 90 cent high a day. And then you want to see it break this downtrend as well with AIM. David, good morning. How we doing, David? You got about 3 more minutes until we drop the stream and I go live inside the chat with the community for today. If you have any final, like, very urgent, important questions, please don't hesitate. Let me know. I have time for about 1 more question, and I want to make sure you guys are all set, ready to rock. You guys know exactly what stocks I'm looking at. What are my top stocks? What are my back burners for today? Just helps you guys build a little bit of a plan here with AIM, right? Dissecting the press release, dissecting the volume, identifying key levels of support and resistance, building a plan. If this happens, I could execute here with a stop loss, you know, going through the process with you. And now you just have to do your own due diligence. You have to sit here and do your DD, say how many shares do I want to take? What am I okay with losing? What's my profit potential? How much do I like this setup? Is there a strategy here? Is there multiple separate reasons to get involved? Really weigh out your pros and cons. And if you really find yourself confident in taking this AIM trade, take the trade, right? You may lose, you may win, doesn't matter. As long as there's a good strategy here and the probabilities are in your favor and you do that consistently, you're going to be profitable. That's it. You're going to be profitable as long as the probabilities are in your favor over the series of trades. All right, so that's a wrap for the pre-market rundown. Again, I was a little late today. The format and the structure was a little off. Daughter's sick. The entire family has been sick the past about 3 to 4 days now. So I appreciate you guys bearing with me as I kind of get back with it myself from being sick and that extended 3-day holiday weekend, and then just kind of getting things up and running. I'm a little bit delayed today. I appreciate you guys working with me. I appreciate you guys showing up and just supporting the stream and being here. And I hope you guys are getting some value. I'm receiving some kind of benefit every single day that you can just always take the next step in your trading career. You know, walk away more knowledgeable than how you arrived. And if I did my job, fantastic. I look forward to continuing to see you here inside of these pre-market rundown streams in the morning here on YouTube as we start again right around 8:15 every single morning, Monday through Friday. If you haven't done so yet, definitely do yourself a favor, and it helps us as well. Before you leave today, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, because I go live again every morning, and I don't want you guys to miss out when we start pushing these lives, throwing up some more educational content, doing our afternoon sessions as well. That should be launched here in a couple of weeks, guys. All right, so enjoy your trading session, and then just make it happen, right? Be smart. Trade safe. Have an amazing day. And I'll see you guys back here on YouTube tomorrow morning right at 8:15. We'll make it happen.